scapula, right foot out on here. And so you can have a seat and sort of lean back like you're lounging here, hopefully pretty comfortably. And you want to have your knees bent, the feet apart like 5 inches or so that your knees and your feet are aligned with your hip joints. And curl the tail up so you're sort of on, not just the glute, but a little above it into the sacrum. So it's a big like triangular bone here near the base of your spine. You'll feel it as you roll back a little bit, if you feel it kind of settle into the bone. And you're trying to scoop the belly into the spinal curve, like your body's a hammock, and the front of your body falls into the curve of the hammock. Yep, that looks good. So from here, support your head with your hands. You can overlap the fingers or intertwine them. And then we're going to look across the room, up the wall to the ceiling and back. You take an arch back here and let your hands support the weight of your head so your neck feels like it's just enjoying the stretch. The elbows can drop down and wide to the floor. You'll exhale to bring your nose forward enough and down your nose at your abs. Pull the elbows together and down. Pull the elbows in, aim them towards your navel, and that's where your gaze is. The tail is lifted. So you're going to C-curve spine here, and then we're reversing it. You drop the tail into the ground. Your belly will arch. You lay your head back into the weight of your hands. Feel the weight of the skull. Elbows are wide again to pull the chest broad and open. Now nod the hip forward. Pull the elbows together and down. Your exhale all the way up and press your waist down. So both ends of the spines are pulled up here. And then as you go back into extension over the roller, both ends of the spine sink down. The crown of your head and the tail reach down into the ground and sort of pull towards each other underneath you. And then we lift the head, we exhale, come forward here. And you want to imprint a little bit higher up onto the waist, into the mat with this curve, and then we'll do it once more. So we inhale back into extension typically. You're breathing in as we arch the spine, lifting the navel, dropping the head, dropping the tail. And then exhale, starts the movement. You pick up your head, use your hands and your arms, and then look into your belly as you sink it down, the tail rises here. And now from here, we're going to stand into your feet. You're going to bring them a little closer in. Push through your feet and lift your hips. And we're going back and forth. And here, be sure if you have a long ponytail or jewelry that's gathered up. If you have a hoodie on, also pull that up so it doesn't roll under the roller. We're going to pull the knees forward, lift the hips, drop the head. When you're across the shoulders, and then as you push off your feet, you round into that upper curl, looking down into your belly as you go only to the base of your rib cage, not below. Hips stay off the mat if you can. You drive the knees forward, the hips go up, the head drops back, go as high on the shoulders as possible without hitting your neck, and then push off your legs. We're massaging at the back. If you get mixed up with the flexion and extension, you can just keep your body in a plank and go back and forth, but you get more release and more work if you add the extension as the knees go forward and flexion as you push away from your feet. Hopefully that feels really good. We're trying to massage out any tension points that are in your body from your day, from your week, from your year. And then it's a big order, right? So let's push again. And one more time to go forward with the knees and up with the hips and down with the head. And then we come back right about to the raw line and sink hips down. Now, from here, we rotate to the right, lifting the left shoulder blade off, and then to the left, lifting the right shoulder blade off. Just do that one more time. Twist and push the opposite hip into the ground. When you twist to the left, the right hip is grounded. Come back to center, find your feet under you, again, because we have more push than pull, so you may have to bring your feet back with you. Pick your hips up. Now rotate to the right and stay there on the outside of the blade and push, pull, go up and down about 5 to 7 inches along the outer edge of your blade. You're right now onto your left, your latissimus dorsi. When it comes to the outer edge of your right shoulder blade. So push it forward back a few times. Might be a little tender. And then we go to the other side. So twist. Big rotation here. So you're really, at the edge of the blade. Push pull here. You also get some work into your legs and work into the glutes, keeping the hips elevated. Good, and then we come back to center. And then come up to sitting. We're going to slide this forward. And you may, I'm gonna have to move forward too. So you may move forward a little bit. And then once you lay down, we lift things, the hips up. And we're just starting here, when you lead into the chest and bring the leg up to the ceiling. The first scissor, one leg up to make my right leg will go back, the left leg forward. And then we scissor switch, the legs pass in midair. They're working planes about 4 inches apart. So again, each foot and knee are aligned with the hip socket here. The elbows are a little bit wide as you pull the roller towards your shoulders. We just have enough pressure to prevent it from rolling forward, but it's a continuous pull because the roller wants to slide forward and away from you. Good. And now we lift both legs up to the ceiling. Lead the left leg up, rotate both legs, heels together, chins apart. And now bring the right leg out to the side, draw an arc down the hill, down the rainbow. Left side is heavy. And then you're pulling the right leg up to where the left leg is still pointed right to the ceiling. So we keep one leg vertical and the other leg goes sideways. This gives you a little bit more stretch to the inner thigh than if you had both legs going at the same time. So we lift here, bring it up, tap the heels together, and then the right leg goes out and down, goes an arc, try to hold that left leg steady without letting it back away. It will want to open away from center when the other leg starts to do that. So just hold it. You can get a little bit of oblique work here in your core to keep the pelvis level here on the mat while you load one leg, then the other away from center. So one more time, right leg goes out and down, it slides down the rainbow, and then you reach long, you pick it up and you pull it all the way up on the exhale. And then the left leg does the same thing, up and open. Exhale to bring it all the way up. Now here, let's go back into scissors. So bring the left leg towards your chest, the right leg forward. And now we're drawing semicircles on the sky with your toes. So you're going to circle legs apart. And then the right leg comes back over your chest, the left leg is forward. And then we reverse the semicircles, right? So imagine that your feet are 2 paintbrushes that each draw half of a circle on the ceiling. And you're rotating the legs as you do this, so that you really get a release into the muscles at your hip and in your upper thigh. So we inhale to go in one direction, and then exhale in the other. And one more set, hopefully feeling a stretch in the hamstring as you bring the leg back over your chest. And maybe a little stretch in the hip as you bring the leg low and forward and around towards the ground. Now pull both knees in. We're going into a frog position. So heels are together, toes are apart. And we're going to push the heel connection up on a high diagonal. Press the legs together, they're zippered in. And then we frog back in, pull the heel connection in towards your tail as the knees go just to the width of your hips or your rib cage. And push again, inhale to reach away. As you exhale to pull back in. Now here we're trying to take the legs at an angle, out and long, where you start to feel your abs really work, right? So if the legs go too low, the back will arch, that's not acceptable. However, you want to feel that the abs are trying to prevent the back from arching. So you go a little bit lower until you feel like some more work in your center, and then drag the heels back in as if you're pulling them through sand and pulling the sand in towards your tail. So press it out. Does everyone feel some work here? And then bring it back. Now, if you were super tight in the hamstrings, another option would be to take the legs straight up to the ceiling and bring them back far enough that you can feel the stretch in the back of your legs. But you can choose. I would say that probably for most of you at this point, you might want to seriously consider getting the core work instead. All right. And then we're going into a bicycle. Pull the right leg in and up and forward. You're in parallel with the legs down. Try to bring the toes down to slide across the mat and in towards the roller. You reach up out of the way. Lower the foot until the toes can touch the ground. Then you might bend in order to do that. And then you bend it more. And bring the other leg forward as that one's coming in. Think of riding a bike that's a little too big for you, right? So if you were a child trying to get on the bike with like one of your older siblings, you'd be stretching your legs as far as you could for the pedals. And then we'll complete this one or wherever you want to stop and then reverse. So bend the knee, go forward and down. Get the toes to touch the mat and then scuff the foot forward before you pick up the straight leg. The other one's going forward with that. Just be sure that your back feels fine with all of these. You have enough support from the roller across under your back. See how low long take the leg forward on the mat without lifting the toes. Then try to slide the foot forward across your mat and then pick it up there. And then also get the stretch if the leg comes back. All right, you can take this into your chest. And here, lower your left foot down. Right foot up in the air. And we just draw an arc in the air and just softly reach out and go all the way down. Inhale the lower. Tap the heel. Bend the knee if you have to. Exhale, reach the heel further out. Exhale, pull it all the way up. Take it back. Go to stretch in the hamstring. And we do that again. So soft toes, air can slide through them. Reach forward, reach long, tap down. Lengthen here. Exhale, and then pick up the legs, still in the soft point of the foot. Stretching across the top of the ankle and bring the leg back far enough to feel the stretch in that hamstring. And one more time, reach it down. Sweep it forward. Lengthen it there. And exhale to lift it all the way up. Now bend that knee. We're switching legs. The right one down, the left one up. Lift the left foot up to the sky. Bring it back. Feel the stretch. And then all the way forward on the inhale. Lengthen out, out, out. Reach as far as you can down the mat. Exhale and bring the leg back up. Just up the wall, across the ceiling behind you. And let's do that again. All the way forward and down. Tap, lengthen, exhale, pull the belly deep and lift the leg up. Just a couple more here. The longer you reach the leg, the longer the muscles are, the more relaxed the joints become as you give them some space to move. And once more, and here, watch your standing leg. You want to feel the inner and outer edge of the foot to engaging the muscles of the inner thigh, not just letting the knee fall open to the side. So even while you're working, we call this the working leg. The left one, the standing leg, the support leg is still activated here to hold your alignment, hold your balance. All right, we'll lift this leg up and then bend the knee in, lower that foot. And here, let's lift the hips up and slide the roll out. All right, so we're going to roll up to sitting here, pull the left knee to your chest. We'll go to the back of the thigh, elbows wide. Take the right leg up in the air and then lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Push the leg forward to roll up with control to sit it. All right, now we're going into a roll down. So if you're here yesterday, we did it. If you're new, you get to do it now. So you have the option to take the band around the soles of the feet. I'm just going to done with the first one like that. So he feels it down. The band is wide across the ball, but in the top of the arch. And you want to choke up on it. And then we're going to sit upright on your sits bones. Elbows relaxed at your side and look ahead at the horizon. Right, look down your nose, you curl the tail up toward your gaze. You're sitting behind your sits bones, onto the glutes, onto your sacrum. So roll back a little bit at a time. Keep lifting the tail up the wall like a paintbrush. And you imprint your spine down one vertebra. You go to the top of the hips, you go to the waist, you go to the ribs, you go to the shoulder blades, shoulders, neck, and head rest back. And then to lift to come up, we want to peel up at the same intensity as going down, maybe even more. So you float the head up, look down your nose, you're tipping your chin towards the base of your throat. Pull the elbows wide and pull the hands back as you help the spine around an invisible ball on top of you. And you're going to lift inch by inch, and you can even dive your head down by your knees. And then imagine zipping your back up the wall from the bottom to the top. You bring the gaze across the floor to the horizon, and we do this again. So look down, pull the tail up to meet your gaze. It's almost like someone punched you in the stomach, so you're feeling that the belly sinks back into the spine. Elbows a little wide, help the shoulders roll in and the scapula broaden on your back. So we keep curling the tail up, 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 up to go down until we get to the base of the ribs. And then we lower the tailbone down Lay back onto the shoulders, neck and head, and then rise again. Lift the head up. Pull up here now. Do it really slowly. We're going to incrementally lift the spine, and also be aware that one side might be stronger than the other. So if you feel that, just ask the other side to be the lead dog in this performance. Okay. So we can have the asana now with the band away if you want. And here, let's stretch the legs forward, gives you a little bit more support. And you can sit up tall on your sits bones. So the arms reach forward, and they're going to be a little bit low to begin. Look down, curl the tail up, and the weight again goes back as you rotate the pelvis around the top of your legs. Lengthen out at the center of each foot. Keep curling the tail up. You bring your hands to your legs if you need a little help. Lower the arms, it's easier than having the arms higher. Be sure you round your waistline in, then your ribs, then the shoulder blades, neck and head settle. Now let's lift the arms up to the ceiling and anchor the blades down. Now see, notice that your ribs are grounded. If you take the arms back toward the floor behind you, see how far you can go without arching the spine additionally. There should be a natural arch in the spine there that we're maintaining, but you want to feel that little bit of a stretch there into the armpit, into your lats on the back. And then you lift the arm, anchor the blade. Right, so that both sit into the floor. So as you float your head up, tip your nose down, look down your midline, bring the arms forward. This is the hard part. You curl the shoulders in a little bit towards each other, come up, rounding the back, and then diving forward. Really good. Your hands can walk down your legs to help you. As you dive forward, your hands can slide towards your toes. If you need to bend your knees a little bit to go far, that's great. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. And also pull your waist back so you curve into the flat bit of your back here. Try to round it and stretch it out. Now, we're going to stack the spine, bottom to top again. So lift the arms, sit here. I'm going to be, I guess, a sleep sitter. I don't know. And then look down, curl the tail up, press forward through your heels, through the center of each foot. Roll down very, very slowly. Articulate your spine. You want to hit every vertebra one at a time. Come all the way down. This is what gives you great work in the abdominals. You can go inch by inch, like there's strikes across the front of your body. One strike after the other takes you down, and then to reverse it, we lift the arms. We reverse the work in the core, so you lift your head first, working the invisible stripes on your neck. Exhale to pick up the ribs. Suck the waist back into the spinal curve. As you come up, over and around, and it pulls you forward, over and down. Stretch your spine here again. And then let's articulate up. Notice that you pick up the chest and look straight ahead. The legs naturally fall behind you. We'll do just one more. You guys look great. So look down, curl the tail up, you're rounding the low back. And then it's as if your pelvis was a ball, it's rolling back in space. You also imagine like the roller coming up your legs, across your belly to bring you back down and flatten you out onto the mat. And then you stretch the arms behind you, holding the ribs rounded. We're going to lift one more time. Lift the head up, big exhale. The exhale is super important to bring you up, round over and down. Think ears between arms, belly reaches out and down towards the ankles. And let's go ahead and lower it against the ground and then step the spine all the way up. That was really good. Did you guys all feel it? We're going to add in a little oblique work. So let's go to use the band again here. So I'm going to turn to face you and we'll be able to see you all so you can see me. And we start again with the band. So we're going to do basically the same thing, going down inch by inch with your spine, but adding rotation to this. So I'm going to rotate to my right. You can go to the right or to the left, whichever is better for you. And then we're keeping the rib cage in line with the thighs. We're still going to tuck to begin the movement and curl the tail up. You roll back, and so the imprint of your body is just like 2 inches to the right of your spine. You're going down on the line of muscle there, just to the tip of the blade. The tail's curling out until you get down. Yes, good. And then we're lifting the head, looking behind your shoulder, and pull up, maintain a twist. The right elbow pulling back, or the left joint, depending which way you're facing, right? Helps you keep the rotation at the top, unwind, and you're sitting right on your sits bones. To the other side. So we begin with the pelvic tuck. You're still looking behind you, you're still digging your heels into the ground and the legs pressed together. Come all the way down, the toe lifts, lifts, lifts. We have to get over the hip and down into the waistline. And then all the way down to the tip of the shoulder blade. Reverse it, come up, and pull with the arms. So you feel that connection into your abs. Doing this work super slowly ensures that your back stays safe and also that you work thoroughly. Here we go, we're going to the right again. So we tuck, so sit plantar sits bones, suck the belly into the spinal curve, go back. Good, really nice. All the way down to the ribs, the tip of the blade. And then you pick up, it's almost like your ear is coming towards your knee, towards your foot. And then you can come upright at the top. Do one more on the other side. And take it back here. Your abdominal wall has 4 different layers, right? We have the rectus abdominis, which if you're lucky enough to see a 6-pack, that's what you're looking at. And then underneath it, you have 2 sets of obliques that crisscross the body. One set goes down in like this. These are the external. One set goes up in like so. Those are the internal obliques. And underneath that, the lowest one is your transverse abdominis. So if you sit upright, take your hands on your belly, and either do like a fake cough. You feel that like it grabs, it grabs, it grabs. That's your inner corset. So the transverse abdominis muscle is really designed to be like very super protective for your low back. And that's one of the reasons we exhale during the hardest part of exercises, because it pulls that in tight. So just try that. So inhale and let the belly expand, and then exhale, pull it in as you push the air out until you really feel that layer that is that interior corset. Can you feel it? Yeah. So you can't really feel it from your hands, so you feel the contraction of the muscles here, but you do feel the inside scoop happening here with the abs. So now when doing this exercise with the twist, we're really trying to focus, all the abs are going to work, but you're really specifically focusing on the oblique ones. So that's really good for twisting, rotation, side bending, and also having, more of like an indented waistline. So here we go. We're going to twist to the right. And go down. I should mention that I started Pilates purely from vanity. I only got interested in anatomy later on. So we're going down to the bra line and then we'll cross the other side. This is called around the world. Push through your feet, you come up on the other side from where you started. And then at the top, we center, and now let's go to the other side here. So reverse, go down on one side, roll across the tip of the blades, keep your upper curl feeling, spiral, lift, and pull up. Good. Now, if this feels like it's satisfying, like it's a lot of work, keep the band. If you want to try a little harder exercise, a little harder version, we're just going to start with the arms forward. Pull one elbow back like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Twist and go back again. Just go back to touch down. So the elbow has to lift a little bit so you don't land flat on it. And then dig your heels in. Pull yourself up. Big exhale to rise. Yes, yes. Much more difficult, right? And then to the other side. And we twist, we tuck, and we curve back. So you're like 2 inches to the side of your spine laterally. Come down to get the tip of the blade down. Lift your head, bend your spine, even in that rotation. Press the heels in, push the legs together, come all the way up. You also don't have to go that far down. Like if you just want to practice going part of the way down and up again, to start building strength into particular areas of the body, or to start building your strength overall. Let's do it again. So twist to one side, tuck and go back. Legs they stretch out to hold your feet down. And then we lift to come up. So you can twist, look behind you. Hold that rotation all the way up here, center, and then once more to the other side. The legs press together. Go back slowly. You reach out to the center of each foot. Yeah, and then lift to pull up. Now that place where you feel like you're falling, right? That might be a place where you go, oh, I should stop there and then practice my strengthening there. Or I can go back and use the band. Or the other option would be we have ankle weights. So that would be helpful because then your heels would stay down. So you can always grab a pair out of the closet, either to the left when you go in. Yeah. And honestly, it's not a demotion when you use a prop that you need, because it's better to work correctly than to fake your way through it and like fall through the movement instead of actually working through the movement. Yeah. Did you have a thought on that? Okay. Thought maybe. All right. So, yeah. So let's go down on one side, come up on the other, and don't go all the way down. If you feel like you're losing control, stop it there. And maybe come up and try it again, or you're welcome to get ankle weights. So here we go. So we're going to rotate on one side and then go down. Why don't we all just try it to the top of the hip, roll across the hip, and then pull it on up and center, and then we reverse. Go down the way you just came up. You're going to go down. Let's just go to the top of the hip bone. Raise your waist above the floor, twist, and then pull up like this. Good. And if that was good for you and you want to stay there, that's fine. If you want to go a little further, let's go down. And then go to the brow line at the tip of the weights. Roll across there. Twist, dig your feet in. Pull the legs together. Big exhale to bring you up where it's hard. Good. And then down on the side you just came up on. Down here, again, just tip of the scapula, the shoulder blades, across, pull up, twist, work to lift it, breathe to work it. And now you can go all the way down if you want to. Keep your head up, like still a little bit of an upper curl. So we're going down on one side. Roll across your shoulders, pull up. It should be hard, that's why we're here, right? And then come back to center. And then reverse, come down the way you just came up. Elbows can go a little bit wide so you don't get stuck in your elbows on the ground as you go low. Roll across the blades, pull yourself up. Right. Nice. Yep. Hope you all felt that. And I hope you, feel it appropriately tomorrow. Like just that it's like, oh yeah, I worked that. That's a nice reminder. I came to Pilates and did something good for my body today. All right, so now we're going into the single circles. So we did this yesterday if you were here. And we're going to continue today. So we're going to take the band around your right foot. It's great to use the band here because you actually get to stretch the leg or open it into the joints here, and then roll yourself fully down, but go 1 inch, 1 vertebra after the next. So you're all the way down, and then pull that right knee in, bending the elbows, holding the band, and then extend the leg up to the ceiling. Here, let's just do a point and a flex of the foot. Double toe, pull the toe down, then flex of the ankle, and then go up. The second part here, where the ball of the foot is reach forward, the toes are still back. Make your foot look like it's in a high heel shoe, and then point the toes over, bring the toes back, high heel shoe position again, and then lift the heel so that stretch into the calf. All right, now end up in a soft point, and now we're circling the leg across the right leg moves to the left, and the right hip stays grounded. You bring the leg low, externally rotate it as you take it out to the side, all the way around and up to the top. While we do this, the torso is staying heavy on the mat and not shifting at all. So you push the leg out into the strap, you reach 1 breath per circle. Then we come around to the top. Now, you start the circle with an inhale, and go a quarter of the way, and then the next 3/4 are all on your exhale. So you're exhaling all the way around. Lay the air out a little bit at a time so you have the breath to push it out at the end and feel that transverse abdominis muscle deep in your belly really knit together at the end of the exhalation. One of its main functions is to give you that extra push to help move the diaphragm and empty the lungs. To the extent that they can empty, there's always some residual air. So reach and go forward and down, all the way around, Move slowly and smoothly, like your foot's drawing a beautiful oval in the sky here. You reach out and then you push out into the band. Imagine if you were laying on your back in a pool of water and you would feel that water around your leg. You have to displace it and move through it. And the water would form and reform around each position of your leg. The air is doing the same thing. Come up here to the top, and now let's reverse. The leg moves out to the right, when you pull the left side ground, push into your left elbow, push into your left leg, circle around them. When the leg moves to your left, you make the right side heavy. So again, the pelvis is grounded, there's a shift in the torso, just a little bit of movement from your elbow to your hand, to the strap, to the leg, working on the hip joint. Yep. And we're saying, how far can you take the leg out into space without destabilizing your body on the mat? So maybe imagine that you're glued to the mat, or you're bolted to the mat, or there's a heavy weight on top of you, but the leg is still free. Any image that works to help you reorganize the masses in your body against the weight and movement of this leg would be helpful. We'll do one more. Start with a short, deep inhale and stretch out to the side, away from your left side, and then go low, all the way across and up to the top to complete this. All right, so from here, we're going to take the ends of the bed in the right hand, hold them onto the strap, anchor your elbow down, and we're holding the left hip down with the left hand. The right leg moves out to the side to the place where you don't get light in the left hip. Keep it heavy, push it down like you're rotating and falling into a hole on the left side of your mat. Then we rock the leg gently. You should feel a stretch that feels healthy to you. And you might turn your head, look away to your left, away from your right leg, because even the weight of your head turning helps you anchor that left side into the ground. Now we exhale, we use the upper inner thigh to pick the leg up to the ceiling. Switch hands now to the left hand down, holding the band on the right foot. And as you cross the leg over, pause for a second with the right hip down and see where you feel that stretch laterally in the thigh. Then we continue taking the leg over, spiraling the spine, taking the hip, the waist, the low ribs off the ground, but keeping the right shoulder blade there. You turn your head to look out over the right arm, which is extended in a T out to the side. The back of your head to the floor. And then let's pull into the left arm, pulling the foot a little closer to your left shoulder. And reach out for your right sits bone, see if you can increase the stretch there in the glute into the low back. The last thing here, we challenge ourselves to rotate the leg internally. So the right knee sits down. The rotation happens from the femur, the thigh bone, not the foot, but it carries the whole line. So the toes are also pointed slightly down. If your hamstrings are tight, you might bend that knee enough to pull it a little closer to the shoulder. If you all feel a great stretch here, and now we're unwinding. So start from your left shoulder, pull the ribcage down, pull the hip down, move to your waist. Finally, get the right hip down, and leg goes up, and then we're reaching your hand up, high on the bench with the foot to pull that leg in. Bend the knee just a little bit if it's too much stretch in the knee or the sits bone, but feel the stretch in the middle of the hamstring muscle here, right? And enjoy that feeling of length, of stretch, and then pull the knee in, and the band comes off the foot. You're going to hug that right knee into your right chest. The left leg is still stretching forward, open out of the hip. And here, just keep the left hip back in. Take your right knee up and in towards your right armpit. So think of the thigh coming to the outside of the rib cage. And then bring it back and lower that foot and stretch the leg forward down the mat. You shake out the legs for a comparison, right? So they'll probably feel quite different. You might notice that it's longer, it's more relaxed, it's more rotated externally, it's more energized at the same time as it's relaxed. And you have more of a connection to the ground with the parts of that leg and also the torso. The left side feels a little like pumped up and like it's not really grounded as well. So it's time to change that. So we'll pull it up to your chest, let's give it a hug. And then we'll take the band around. You might need to be in your upper roll to do that. And then take the band up for the ceiling, lifting the foot. You can shorten up the strap and then slide your elbows forward, one hand to each end of the strap here. And we lift the leg up high, bend the knee if it's a little too tight at the back of your leg, and pull the leg as vertically as you can, whether it's straight or bent. To get that nice stretch, you want to feel the weight of the leg drop deep into the socket. Now here, point and flex. We articulate through the foot, so we're not treating it like a block of wood or a brick. We're going to roll through the toes, pull it back, roll through the ankle, pull it back to the ball through the feet first, go up into that high heel shoe position, and then pull the toes over the end of the strap, their band, and then pull the toes back and lift the heel. Just one more. See how it changes the effect, the work and the muscles in the back of your leg while you do this. And then we end with a soft point and maybe relax the leg slightly forward. Circling now, we're going to start with the leg in the air and our breath. Inhale to bring the leg across and a little bit down, and then exhale all the way around, out to the side and up to the top. Good. If you imagine you're drawing a circle like a clock face in the air, you're going to inhale for the first 3 hours and exhale for the next 9. Really notice what's going on with your torso, keep it heavy. Particularly heavy on the side that the leg is reaching away from. That helps you get more stretch and also more core strength here. And also, almost more importantly, a real awareness of where the leg is in space and how it affects the feeling in the center of your body. So as you reach out with the foot, you pull back with the left hip. And then that left leg is down around, now pull back into the right hip, into the ground, circle the leg out. Don't let the torso shift position on the mat. I will do one more circle like this. Reach, enjoy the stretch as you go all the way around your leg as you move your leg in a circle through the air. We'll come to the top and now we rotate. So the elbows are grounded. Pull the elbows close to your hips to move the shoulders away from your ears. And then reach out away from center. The left leg moves left, then low. Initially rotate as you bring it across and then back to neutral at the top. One breath per circle. Make the inhale as short as possible and the exhale as long as you can. That longer exhale makes you knit the transverse abdominis down, 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 and deep. So you reach bend. The muscles need to fully expand to fully contract. Right, so we're not just holding everything like tight, we're breathing and letting the body respond to the breath, and then exhale completely, feeling the abdominal wall knit together and sort of be like a wrap tight around the torso here and the lower back. So let's do one more. Inhale heavy on the right side, move the leg to the left, go low. Keep pushing out into space, drag it across, and then bring it up high. We'll pause there. And then keep moving through the band into your left hand. Tighten up on it a bit as you need to. Anchor your left elbow. Extend your right arm. Palm breathe out to the side. And then you can slowly rock the leg. You can also keep the right hand on the right hip bone to be sure that you're not floating up off the ground with that right glute. Give yourself a little tiny bounce with the legs very slowly. Good, that's great. And then we'll exhale, pull from the upper inner thigh, and we'll lift the leg up. When it's vertical, switch hands on the band. Give yourself a wrap around the hand. Extend the left arm out, and then first bring this down. You should bring the leg, won't go very far. But see if you can feel that stretch in the lateral hip and the thigh. This works into the IT band area and the lateral quad and hamstring. And then we're going to lift the hip and stretch the foot from the ceiling. Reach out long into the sole of the foot and then rotate the leg internally. See how you increase the stretch in towards the center of the back. You're also stretching the chest open with this arm extended out and the shoulder pressing into the floor. Now we unwind, pull down waist and then glute to lift the leg. So working from the center to move the leg, move the extremities. And now here, pull the leg up. Reach up high on the band and pull it towards you, bending only as needed. You even reach up to the heel and down with the toes to get more calf stretch there. It all counts as part of the back line, then point and pull the knee in, the band moves off to the side. First thing you get pulled into your chest, and then today we're just pulling it a little bit towards the left armpit. We're trying to bring the thigh alongside the rib cage. And then we can pull it back and in. And then extend that leg forward. Shake out both legs. Give them a little wiggle, and then just relax. Good. And then just breathe into this, and notice what's changed in your body. All right, so here, let's pull the left knee in, lift the right leg up to the ceiling. We rock forward and up, we're rolling with the balls. So if you have a ball, you can take it between your thighs, above the knees, below the pelvic girdle, the edges of your feet are together. When you first learn this, you take your hands behind your thigh, because then when you come back up, if you feel like you don't have enough bumps to get yourself up, you can kick the legs forward, and that will tip the body forward. However, if you've done this before and are comfortable, you bring your hands to your shins. In either case, whether your hands are at the back of your thighs or on your shins, you want to lift your feet, curl the tail up, round your low back to balance on your sacrum. You push the legs forward into your hands, and you pull the hands back into your legs, so that your arms actually are working, right? And you look at your abs. Now to roll, we curl the tail up, and you go only to the shoulder blades, change direction, come back up. So as you roll back, as soon as the blades touch, exhale, keep the exhale going as you come forward, right back up where you started. Be sure you have enough padding under your mat, under your back, with double mats or triple mats, or whatever you need. So you lift, and then just go ahead and squeeze the ball. And then you roll back, and then forward. Very nice. Just go ahead. Give it a shot. Yeah, excellent. And what this does for us, it helps us work the right and left sides equally. So you look into your abs, you roll back to your blades, but high in the air, dive the head forward, just so looking down into your belly. Now, the thing that you want to watch out for, you never want to look up when you're rolling. Because as soon as you do that, I don't know if you know if I can, but let me say, like go back, look up, now stop, right? Because as soon as my head went up, my back flattened, and I'm the board, and I'm not coming up. I don't know. Maybe if I was super strong, I could, but I don't think so. So we want to keep the spine in the curve and massage it out as you roll. Let's do that one more time. So look down. And elbows wing out, push into the arms, push into the legs. You lift the tail, you lift the blades. You exhale, come up, and you stop with your feet in the air. Yeah. Now, if you want to try a little bit more advanced variation on this, you can take the ball to the side. We'll roll back the same way, come up and hit this balance point, and then you can what we call teasing. So you would have the ball aside, pull your belly back into your spine, make yourself into a little ball, you roll back. Inhale here, exhale, and then reach, hold, grab again, and do that again. I know, it's pretty, right? It's fun. So let's do that. So I'm gonna watch, right? So you roll back, big exhale, come up, and then extend the arms, extend the legs, press them together. Nice job. It's a balance challenge, good work, and then fold it in, roll again. Yeah, I'll do a couple with you now. You guys are great. So with the tail, roll back. This is all come forward, come up, put your balance point, stretch, embrace, we roll again. Reach, fold, and one more time. Stretch here. Got that exercise. We will eventually do an exercise with teaser from here all the way to the ground and back up again, but you don't do it until you can do it safely. So there's a progression that happens with the exercises, but that gives you a little a teaser for the teaser exercise. Good. All right. So here we're going to go into the first of our ab series. So I know you've been doing abs all along, but even so, we start rolling back. I'll show you the first one and then do it, right? So right hand to the right ankle, left hand to the shin, still on the right leg. I pick that leg up and I flip the other leg out and I roll back super slowly. So I'm getting the work in my abs into my upper curl. You look down the midline and then we inhale, we switch the leg. So when it goes forward, it's back and you're pushing. So you push down with your arm and up with your foot to really get that work, not only in the arm, but also in the abs. And then we just do that multiple times. So let's start, right? So we begin taking both hands to the right leg. So right hand above the ankle, left hand below the knee. Pick that knee up, roll the tail up, rock back onto your sacrum. Elbows wide, you're going to curve the spine into that scoop, into that scallop position. Then you can start to roll back with your spine, push the other leg away, foot it off the ground. And then here we are, we're pushing down with the arms and up with the shin. Feel that as you look down in your line. Now inhale, hold your gaze on your belly as you sweep the leg. When it goes out, when it comes in, and there's an oppositional push-pull, right? And you try to actually get the connection to your abdominals. You hold that work in your core, and even while you're breathing, right? And you switch the legs. You inhale for one leg, you exhale for the other leg, and you stretch the leg out as far as you can, and then pull it in as tight as you can also. Just doing one more set. So put the right knee in, feel that connection, pull the left leg in, pull that connection, pull both knees in, and then let's roll forward to come up to sit. Yeah, you felt it? It should be like everywhere. It's not only your legs, your arms, but your abs are also all working. Now, a lot of these can be tough on our necks, so we want to be sure that we're keeping our gaze down to keep the stretch here. So as soon as you start looking up, then all of a sudden your neck's doing all this work that it's not really designed to do. Okay, so double leg stretch next. This is the second in the abdominal series. So with that, we're rolling back sort of the same way. Your hands can be towards your legs, or actually start from here. As you roll back, you pull the leaf in, shins are parallel to the ground, elbows wide, and hands on the legs. Now press the legs together, put as much work as you can in this position. You inhale, arms and legs lift to the ceiling. Then you fold the knees in as you circle the arms wide and embrace and feel that reconnection here to your abs. Right. So let's do it together. So start sitting up. It's easier on your neck if you start from above, so we're doing that right now. So hold on to the back of your thighs, elbows wide and forward. Curl the tail up, pull the waist back. And we start to roll back. We've been doing this like started in your roll up initially. Pull the knees in and you feel like they want to. Pull onto your shins, right hand to right leg, left hand to left. Pull yourself a little bit further forward and up into that deep upright curl. Look at your navel. Now inhale, arms and legs lift, arms are apart, legs are together. Pull the knees in as the arms circle wide and embrace your legs into your chest, push up with your shins. And reach. And exhale and embrace. You go up, feel it stretch, energy up to the fingers, toes. And we'll do two more. Reach high, pull everything in. And last one. Keep looking down your nose at your abs. And then we'll roll forward and up. Was anyone tempted to look up at your feet? Yeah. Because if you did, you would notice that your neck would feel more sore, more tense, more load. So good. All right. So from here, seated spine stretch. Here's where you should probably have a block to sit on, a yoga block, if you know that your hamstrings are tight. You could, yeah, so I should have mentioned that earlier, but, and the way you tell is that when you're sitting upright on your sits bones, if your legs are straight and you still feel like indentation, like if you take your hand back here behind your waist, it should feel like indented, and the rib cage, shoulder blades, and sacrum and tail all behind that. If, however, you're sitting upright and you kind of flex back like this, you're in a little pelvic tuck and you're behind your sits bones, you would want to elevate your hips or just bend the knees and sit right up on the top of your sits bones. Right, so this is tiring because most people don't practice really good posture, whether they're sitting or standing. So, but this builds some of the muscles here into your core and strength into your hip flexors if you can sit vertically. So now we're going to here, open the legs, they can be a little externally rotated, sit up and maybe lift yourself off the ground with the heel of your hands down, and then sit right on top of your sits bones. That's nice. Stretch the arms forward, widen the collarbones, the shoulders are relaxed. And then we look down your nose, bring your chin towards the base of your throat, go out at the top of your head, out over and down and then up. You can bend your knees a little bit, not too much, but just soften them a little as you go over and down. You want to feel a stretch into your low back. Your head hangs down to stretch out your neck. And then we press to the heels, we sink through the sits bones, we imagine the tail diving deep into the center of the earth, and then we zip up the wall, bottom to top, And let the arms flip forward like so. And then we went down again. Exhale all the way out, over, and down. The shoulders are just carried on the movement of your spine. As the spine moves, the ribs move, the shoulders rest on those. And your head hangs down as you suck the waist back. Try to curve the tail up towards your gaze to feel that stretch in the lower back area. And then as we come upright, the pelvis is going to come back to a vertical position as you sit upright on your sits bones, and the arms and the legs are outstretched. One more, so it's going to go taller, like up through your halo, helping to elongate the spine by lifting even at the base of the skull. And then we look down, exhale, out, over, and down. So an arc in the air, we're coming out, jumping off a diving board and deep into the water you see below. And then press to the ground, come all the way upright. The shoulders fall behind you. The heart rises and the chest broadens. The weights fall behind you. Good. Now here we have another rolling exercise. So this one is open leg rocker. It's a bit of a balance challenge for us. So we're just going to start with the hands behind the thigh. Your heels are connected, toes are apart. You curl the tail up and suck the waist back. And then we float the feet up to balance more on the sacrum. Imagine like a bowling ball here at your navel, between the navel and the pubic bone, and let that sink in. So still looking down at your belly, we're going to stretch the right leg up to the ceiling. So it's asymmetrical load while you balance, and then bring your heel down, connect the heels. Now the left, it goes up and away. Full reach, full stretch, and exhale back down. Good, one more time like that. So extend the leg, and pull it back. Good. It's helpful to have the elbows wide, and that pulls you forward into your upper arm curl position. Now the leg goes up just the width of your shoulder. That makes it a little harder now. And so one more set, right leg first. Pull it back down. You would be more connected if you're doing this. Push your palms together and really push. So you feel the connection under the abs. Yes, this would be harder because you have to pull the leg up by yourself. And then back. And then we're doing both legs up at the same time. So reach them up. Press the leg out into the hand and pull the hand back into the leg. So again, you firm up your arms, you firm up these upper abdominals. Do that again. Extend, reach here. This is an easier balance, but a bigger challenge for the hamstring length. And one more time. Good. Lift. Self plank. Bring it down. Now we're actually going to roll with the legs extended up like that. So you want to keep looking at your abs. Extend the legs up. We can start with the hands here. Legs are apart, narrow, big. And then curl the tail up, all your shoulder blades. Exhale forward and up to your balance point. Yeah, good. It's tricky because it's a different center of balance than rolling like a ball that we did earlier. So look into your abs, stretch the legs, try to keep them straight as you go back and as you come forward. One more time like that. Tail in the air, and then balance point. Bend your knees, lower your feet down. All right, so one more exercise here. So we'll lay down on your back and grab the TheraBand or corkscrew. All right, so we're taking both legs up into the band this time. And then extend the legs up to the ceiling. Again, wrap your hands around the band and pull the elbows low by your hips. The legs are up in the air. If you flex the feet, you'll get more stretch in the back of your leg. If you point, it's a little bit left. So what we're doing here is we're going to keep the pelvis rounded, take the legs over to the right, and circle forward and around. You're going to draw a circle in the air about the size of a cantaloupe. Come to the top, and then reverse, and see how this slow movement, inhale and exhale for every circle, gives you a little bit of a massage around the sacrum, around the SI joints. So you're trying to hold the pelvis steady, but you feel the weight shift around the SI joints here. And then go left and around to change direction after each circle. And just one more set. Inhale to start to the right, exhale all the way around to the left, and complete at the top. Get the stretch in the back of your legs. and then go to the left and circle around to the right. All right, now from here, let's say just take the elbows a little wider, help yourself raise, and let's say slowly take the legs over to the right. You can tip the left hip up a little bit. Just so fall, lengthen. Now exhale, think of pulling the right hip up to sweep the legs back across the room to try to work from your waistline and your obliques. Turn your head look away and take the legs over. Do you feel that you're really have to press into the right side of your body and the left side to pull the body there? And then we pick up the left hip bone and bring it across the body to take the legs to the right. This is just called tick-tock or windshield wiper. So we're working into those oblique abdominals again and also into your triceps. And then you can feel the back of your arms work as the legs get further away from center, further away from vertical. Back to center here. But you can definitely work from your feet or you can work from the center of your body. It's just important to make a decision, choose, and then really focus on that sensation while you work. Go over to the left by lifting the right hip up. And then let's pull the left hip up to bring the right hip down, the legs back to center. Stretch them, maybe even reach up, see how high up on your legs you can reach. And then we can fold the knee in, the bend to the side. And roll up to the neck. Oh, so that's our session for today. Thank you guys for coming.